What's going on, you guys? Pokemaster Kenny here, and today I'm going to be bringing you yet again another Brilliant Stars deck. Today we are going to be bringing you Entei V. Now, this is one of the most powerful decks that I feel like is coming out of the next set, and ZulGG even mentioned on his own stream that he may even debate on playing in Full Grip next month, which is what I am currently testing for. I put a little bit of an interesting twist on this. Now, quick disclaimer: the Entei list that I have currently built is based off of a Suicune Ludicolo Inteleon build that Kim Pobega ended up topping at a online Zaclosage tournament, which I highly recommend you guys go and play and check out if you want some competitive play, or if you just want to even go and watch someone who is very good at the game, knows what they're talking about. Go check out the Shuffle Squad even. So without further ado, let's check it out. So here's the list. Like I said, it was based off of Kim Pobega's list. I ended up making, I believe, top 8 or top 16 at the Zaclosage tournament. Of course, I did have to change the list up a bit, as Entei's a little bit different than Suicune, but not that much different. And there are some other card counts that I wanted to do differently. Now, Entei has the ability Fleetfoot, where it's almost a complete copy of Suicune, but into a fire type with 20 more HP and 1 more retreat. Fleetfoot draws a card whenever Entei is in the active spot once per turn, and Volcano Rondo does 20 plus 20 for each player's benched Pokemon. So if your opponent has 5, you have 5, you're hitting for 220 damage. Pretty good. And in this build, we play a very, very heavy Ludicolo line, which when I was originally testing this list, mine was heavy Kindler, very heavy Ludicolo, so it was like a 4-1-3 Ludicolo line. I played 0 Inteleon. I based it around Crobat and Lumineon V, which was testing actually pretty well, but I got scared to the point of I didn't want to get past the Pika Locked, which the deck would inevitably lose to by the end game, because you don't really have an end game pivot. You're just really trying to hit hard as fast as you possibly can, and if you run out of gas with this deck, you really just lose. But with the Inteleon build, you won't run out of gas too late game, because you will have access to Shady Dealing, Scoop Up Nets, and Drizzles. Of course, the heavy Ludicolo line is purely because Ludicolo's Enthusiastic Dance ability makes your basic Pokemon do 100 more damage during your turn, so that 220 for a full bench on both sides could turn into 320 almost instantaneously, or you could even go from 120 to 220, just knock out a V flat out because you're just a little bit short and your opponent's, trying to play around it. Ludicolo essentially punishes players for trying to play around Entei itself, which is really, really strong. Now, you'll also notice that the Inteleon line's a little bit wonky. It's a 4-3-2. I don't play Quick Shooting. I feel like Quick Shooting is honestly unnecessary in this deck. This deck, you kind of want to hit hard and grab your pieces as frequently as you possibly can while keeping consistency. So, with that in mind, there was also a ton of cuts that I had to do. The 4th Drizzile was one of them, and a Quick Shooting was one of them, just to fit in cards like Cross Switcher, a 5th Energy, or even keep the Cape of Toughnesses in. So when it came down to it, I felt like the Quick Shootings just weren't necessary by the end, and even just as a one-of, why aren't you just using Ludicolo and using Scoop Up Net and Rare Candy to fix the math anyways? A lot of people would argue, hey, the Quick Shooting is really, really good. Maybe. It may be really good, but my logic is if you're one-shotting everything anyways because of double Ludicolo turns, why would you need it anyways? The double Shady Dealings I feel like is appropriate for the deck, because you're just able to grab double Cross Switcher, you're able to grab a supporter card in a cape, you're able to grab a Stadium in a cape. Just being able to consistently dig through your deck and find the pieces you want is very, very strong. Now, moving into the supporter line, there's only 5 total supporter cards. We have 3 Kindler, which is a new supporter card. You discard a fire from your hand, look at the top 7 cards, and take any 2 you want and shuffle the rest back. I feel like the card is a little niche, but it does help out your strategy of being able to ditch the fire out of your hand, be able to attach it with Magma Basin, which is a Stadium card, where it attaches a fire energy from your discard pile on one of your benched fire Pokemon, and you put 2 damage counters on it. So you do Kindler, discard a fire, look at the top 2, look at the top 7, take any 2, and that could be another energy, it could be 2 cross switchers, it could be rare candy evolution instance, or a level ball, or whatever 2 combination cards you want, and those combination cards could turn into more combination cards, because it could be a level ball for a Drizzile, grab more pieces, grab an energy search to guarantee the attack, grab a Scoop Up Net. Like, there's so many different factors that you can put into this deck that I absolutely love. I do only play one copy of Boss's Orders because I do play 4 copies of Cross Switcher, which is a very interesting card which came out in Fusion Strike. You can only play 2 to make it work. Essentially, if you play the Cross Switcher card, you switch one of your opponent's bench Pokemon with their active Pokemon, and you switch your active Pokemon with your bench Pokemon. So it essentially pivots. It's a boss and a switch in the same token in the same card, which I feel like is extremely strong. Entei, the reason why it's slightly better than Suicune for most people is you can attach and boss in the same turn. You can load up an attacker and boss in the same turn, which is what I believe Cross Switcher does for the deck. You're able to grab Inteleon Shady Dealings, you go Magma Base and attach, double Cross Switcher, target anything you want, and just instantaneously blow it up. I feel like this makes the Mew matchup a lot better. It forces Escape Rope. To essentially be non-existent because it'll just throw up something that isn't Genesect. If you cross switcher, you instantly pull up a Genesect, you instantly pull up any V you want, you go around everything essentially, and it's really, really strong in my opinion. Now the argument is, why wouldn't you just play Switch and more Boss over that? To that answer is you want to kind of go turbo, like I said, by turn 2, even turn 1 attacks, by going second, by going Kindler, discard a fire, attach, double cross switcher, or just even because if you're trying to attack as quick as you possibly can, you're not able to access those cards while using boss. Unless, of course, you are able to go Ultra Ball, Quick Ball, one of those, 5 cards in order to go ahead and discard the fire energy in the discard pile. But I feel like that takes up more slots of the deck that you don't need to commit. I feel like Cross Switcher, just as a 4 is perfectly fine the way it is, because otherwise you're going to need to play 3 boss, 3 to 4 switch in order to mess around with it, or even a 4th net. So if you did want to play a build based around boss, you could drop 2 Cross Switchers, add in 2 bosses, drop the other 2 Cross Switchers, add in switches, possibly find room for 2 more with other cards, plus a 4th Scoop Up Net at that point, because I feel like 4 Scoop Up Net is really, really good if you are not playing Cross Switcher. We then have the basics of 4 Level Ball, 4 Rare Candy. There is 3 copies of Quick Ball. I feel like the 4th isn't necessary in my opinion. It's very, very good. But you also have access to Capture Energy and now Ultra Ball, which discards 2 cards from your hand, so should act for any Pokemon you want. So it's legitimately an Inteleon, a Drizzile, Ludicolo, Lombre. It's anything evolution-wise, anything Pokemon-wise. So if you're playing Ultra Ball, you might as well just not go up to 4 Quick Ball at that point, because you have to balance one of the others out. You do play 3 Scoop Up Nets. The list did originally play 4 Scoop Up Nets in order to bounce it around, but of course consistency and space is really, really tight in this deck, and maybe along the lines of testing I'll add a 4th one, I don't know. But then we have 2 Cape of Toughnesses, 2 Energy Surges in order to pull out fires quicker. The 2 Cape of Toughnesses make it possible to where Entei has 260 HP to 280 if you end up using Raihan instead of Magma Base to load up a Pokemon, and then 1 copy of Evolution Incense, which is just any Drizzile, Lombre, Ludicolo, and Teleon piece. So thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe and like for more content. If you would like to see any more Brilliant Star decks moving forward, please let me know in the comment section below, and I'll get right to it. Aside from that, have a great one.